Welcome once again to our podcast. This is a platform where I get to empower you, challenge you, motivate you, and help you to live a lifestyle of faith each and every day. We've been having some really good, interesting topics, and I hope that you've been blessed by it. As always, I ask that you make your comments. Let me know how the podcast is helping you, and I would appreciate it if you will share this platform with as many people as you can. All right, we're going to talk about turning over to a new page. Turning over to a new page. I remember when I was a little kid in elementary school that our teacher would put a sheet of paper before us, a blank sheet of paper before us, and we would, she'll give us instructions, to draw something on it. She'll give us sometimes an image, or we have to create our own image and color it and so forth. And there were so many times I can remember, because I'm not good at art. I am definitely not good at that. My youngest son, Elijah, he is a master at this. I'm telling you, the guy is talented. I mean, some stuff I see him do, I'm like, huh? But I remember on several occasions, I would start drawing something on the paper and then would have to rip it up. I look, it didn't look good, and I rip it up, dump that, get a new, sheet of paper, and start all over again. And then we graduated with a coloring book with empty pages, or a drawing book, if you will, with blank sheets of paper, and we would color, and that didn't work, then we would turn over to a new page. There are so many mistakes we have made in life that calls for us to turn over to a new page. I firmly believe that what God has given this country, America, is an opportunity to turn over to a new page. The election is behind us, and regardless if it didn't go in your favor, it is an opportunity for us to turn to a new page. A new page. If you're in another country, whatever you've been struggling with, it's time to turn over to a new page. And here's the thing. Having the ability to turn to a new page is suggesting a couple of things. Number one, new opportunities. This is amazing. New opportunities simply means that God is giving you new opportunities to not get stuck in the old. That He won't hold you accountable for the mistakes that you've made on the current page or days of your life. That He's given you new mercies every day. Every day He's saying, okay, it's a brand new day. It's a new clean sheet of paper. It's a new page. What are you going to draw? What are you going to write? What will be your story, or your life story be today and for the future? So please indulge with me for a moment as I take you into this experience of turning a new page. Remember, it's an opportunity now. You are given a God-given opportunity to change. Getting rid of the old. Yes, you heard me correctly. Getting rid of the old stuff. Many of you, if you take inventory of your life, there's a lot of old stuff. There's some stuff that you don't need to carry over in the next season of your life. You certainly can't carry it into 2021. I hope not. There is absolutely no way you can carry that in 2021. Don't do it, please. Don't do it. You now have an opportunity to take advantage of the new, the new, okay? It's a blank sheet. And some of you, the struggle you are having is when you look and you're like, okay, I can't see nothing, because you're a control freak, if you will. You've got to see it, you got to touch it, you got to sense it. And that's how sometimes you miss your God opportunities. I believe that God is taking you into new territories, new environments, where you are going to have to use your God-given gifts to make something happen. That's good, man. I want to talk to some people today on this podcast who, yeah, you made some mistakes, man. You made some mistakes. If you look back over your life right now, the things that you have done and the picture that you have painted, like me in elementary school, there needs to be a ripping, a tearing, a kind of putting away of those things. I'm done. I'm not going to complain about that no more. Let me just deal with this country in America, because most of the people listening to me, you're in America here. Can we just put everything behind us now? Can we just be at a place where we just say, okay, God, it's a new day. It's a new hour. It's a new moment. It's a new season. So I'm going to do away with the old, and I'm going to now embrace the new. It's a new page where all of our differences, we try our best now to not let our differences separate us, and not let our differences cause us to be calling people's names, and to be bickering and arguing, especially people of faith. Especially people of faith. Are you telling me you're going to be mad at somebody because they support another political party opposite from yours, and that is going to cause you to disqualify them as a Christian, that is going to cause you not to want to talk to them, that is going to cause you to want to send them to hell? Come on now. And the last time I checked, I think though you may think your party is God's party, last time I checked, you've got some issues in your own life. You've made a lot of mistakes. And God gave you an opportunity to erase that, to rip it up. The Bible says that our sins, God takes them and throw them in the sea of forgetfulness. He just forgets about them. So let me use my iPad for a moment. And it's just like when you're turning over to a new page. This is the current page right here. Now you're turning over to a new page. It requires work. It requires effort. And somebody needs you right now. You need a turn. You need to be willing to say, I've got to change. Turning is suggesting you are changing. And you know as well as I know, you cannot go into 2021 the same way. There has to be a change. You have to change. Not if you want to discover the new things, my goodness, that God has for you. Okay, so what are some of the areas of your life, man, you need to turn to a new page? And you know what? What I realize is that turning to a new page is a huge risk. Yes, it takes guts. It takes tenacity. It takes a willingness to say, I don't care. I need a change. Until you get really desperate, you have to get desperate, man. You got to get to a place in life, man, where you just say to yourself, look, enough is enough. I need a change. And then when you get to that place, then you're willing to turn to a new page. Some of you, your turning has to do with turning away from some people. Yeah, you heard me correctly. It's the turning away from some people. There's some people you've been hanging out with. Oh, not good. Not good. You need to take inventory. You know who you are, who they are. Look, you don't need nobody to be calling them out for you. You know who these people are. You need to turn to a new page. You know, maybe new friends. Now, one of the things you need to know about Henry Fernandez is I don't change friends a lot. Because again, I love everybody, but there's just a few people in my inner circle. Few people. And I'm fully aware that there are people in my inner circle, and watch out for these people. There are people in your inner circle. They will do everything to block others in your circle from fellowshipping with you, from having good times with you. There's a lot of jealous people in your inner circle. There's a lot of people in your circle with wrong motives. Wrong motives. And sometimes you have to be careful because in your inner circle, there are people who will go and act and say things and present things to you in a way that will cause you to believe that, or cause them, the other people, to believe that, oh, you must be that way, or you must be thinking that way, or whatever it is, right? And that's dangerous, man. That's why you got to check your inner circle. Maybe one day I'll deal with that on the podcast. Check your inner circle. Yeah, you got to check it, man. And every now and then, just like your phone. Okay, right now my phone, it's so old. Trust me, it's old. And ever so often I get these updates. Okay, and with these updates, fine, I download the updates, everything is fine. But every now and then I notice my phone is slow. I notice it says out of memory, everything like that. And sometimes I am forced by my phone to delete certain files, to make room. This is good, man. This is good. To make room for future files, for future data, information that I want to download in my phone. So I have to now go through and look at videos and look at photos and look at files that I have to clean up. I have to clean up my memory. And I'm telling you, someone needs to hear this today on the podcast. You need to turn a new page. And how do you turn? You just got to go, man, and look in your life and say, okay, what do I need to delete? This is good. What do I need to delete? What do I need to remove from my life? What file? What person? What information? What environment? What thoughts do I have that I need to just erase them immediately so I can free up my mind, free up my emotions, free up my spirit to receive the new, the fresh that God's bringing in my life. I'm speaking on your behalf. I mean, that's how you ought to be thinking. Every one of us, every now and then, we need, seriously, we need to find a way to clean up our lives, man, because there's a lot of junk in there. There's a lot of stuff, man. We just need to go say, no, don't. I don't even want it. It's too much memory. Because, when you go to clean up your files or to clean up and to clear your memory, it'll tell you the size of each file. And some of our situations, man, it's got too much memory or it takes up too much memory. And we just got to let it go. Just let it go. So I think what I'm trying to encourage you on this platform today is be bold and examine where you are. Examine who is in your life. Examine your priorities. Examine what's cluttering your mind every day. And get rid of the stuff that doesn't benefit you. You heard me. Get rid of the stuff that don't benefit you, man. And focus on the things that will produce greatness in your life. It's a new page, man. And it's blank. It's blank. If you ask me, okay, Henry, so what's the new for me? I can't tell you. This is where the discovery process comes in. You got to discover it, man. One of the things I love about my faith journey is it's a journey of discoveries. You know, every day I get up, I'm trying to, okay, Lord, what do you have for me today? Every month, every season. This year, 2020, of course, it has had some ugly images, memories I don't even want to remember. Okay, but I'm not going to get anxious and say, okay, Lord, let's let this year pass. No, I don't know. God, give me what I need to have in this year and let me look beyond the pain, look beyond the inconvenience, and let me find your perfect will and let me find the uncommon opportunities that's in it for me. And you should do the same. Think about that. You should do the same. Because there's a lot of opportunities that's before us right now. An opportunity to meet new people. Listen, do not believe the lie that there are no more good people left on the earth. Hello, ladies. Well, there's no more good men on the earth, and they're not born yet. Come on, man. One of the things I've discovered is that evil and negativity tends to be promoted more, seriously, more than positivity. I don't know why. People tend to magnify problems and drama and all that kind of a stuff. I've watched for 4 years in this country, the media. Everything is breaking news, and it's always bad, and it's always this. And I have watched for 4 years the name calling. I've watched for 4 years mockery, and all. I've watched for 4 years, and at one point for me, it became exhausting. Seriously, to the point now. I love getting updated on the news. You can't live in a world and be a Christian and say, oh, I don't want to know what's going on. No, you got to know what's going on. You got to stay informed. Now, it doesn't mean that you're going to participate with the madness that's taking place, but you need to be informed. So I like to be informed. So I love listening and watching the news. And I over the last 4 years, I got to a place where I just had to shut it off, man. There were moments I just had to say to myself, no, I don't want to hear it. That's it. I don't want to hear it, and I don't want to see it. Seriously, I don't want to hear it nor see it, because it got so ugly, and I got so exhausted. I was like, God, and I couldn't wait for the election. Honestly, I couldn't wait for the election to pass. Okay, now of course, remember, I voted. I made my voice be heard. Um, but now it's all gone. It's a new page. It's a new day in America. Regardless of what, I don't care how you may think of the result. I believe the Bible tells us, if my people, he's not talking about the world. God says, if my people, the church, will humble themselves. And I think turning over to a new page requires humility. If we humble ourselves, we pray. I remember the night before the election, it so happened that we had our first Monday night of the month prayer service, and we prayed. If we pray, prayer changes things. I'm telling you, prayer will fix everything in your life. Now, many people watching and listening to this podcast can attest to that. Prayer will radically fix every brokenness in your life. And we're going to pray for this country. We are going to pray for this country. I'm not even praying for things to become or to get back to being normal, because I want God to shake things up and let his will be done. He permitted whatever to happen the last 4 years. It's a new day. It's a new opportunity now. Let us make sure that whatever mistakes, whatever ugly images we've had, the ugliness, let's say, the ugliness of our past, let's now change from that and go to something new, something that our eyes have not seen, some things our ears have not heard, things that we couldn't even conceive of those things. That's really what I'm talking about. I am talking about God giving us new opportunities. Yes, new opportunities to start anew. I don't know if you're ready for the new. I am ready, man. I am ready. I am ready. And it starts with you. You changing first and you turn. Turn to that new page. Let me demonstrate it. Turn to that new season, to that new, area of your life. And watch what God will do. Change your friends. Change the way you do business. It's going to be a new opportunity for many people. Let me talk business a little bit. And I want a lot of you to listen because, sometimes I think we get so religious that one of the reasons why we can't prosper in the earth is not that God doesn't want us to prosper, which we know the truth about that. And it's not that God has not already blessed us to prosper. Sometimes we're stuck in the old, and here's another phrase, and hopefully it doesn't rub you the wrong way. We're stuck in ignorance. Because there's so much information out there for us as a people to grab a hold of, to help ourselves in the area of finance. Many people are struggling financially, and they don't have to. They don't have to. They have yet to study the success principles of finance. Right? While so many people are involved in gossiping, so many people are involved in sticking their nose in other people's business and polluting their thinking. So many people are too sensitive. Oh my goodness, so sensitive and fragile that you live most of your life in a circle of unproductivity. When there's so many opportunity God gives to you, like now, to turn the page on your finances. So for those of you who let me talk to those of you who don't have a house. Already, the opportunity was there. The opportunity was there for first-time buyers. You just needed to ask. There are so many communities you live in where the community itself got certain grants, for you for a down payment for first-time buyers. Look, I know we don't preach this in church because we come to the church services almost faithfully every week, whether it was on campus before the pandemic, now virtually. And what we want preachers, listen to me carefully, we want preachers to excite us, to preach us and make us feel good and pat us on the shoulders and prophesy spiritual things to us and so forth and make us feel good, and have a great time. But there's no empowerment because many of us don't want to hear economic empowerment. Many of us don't want to know how to position yourself for greatness because you're just totally gone. Your focus is off. So here it is. You want to turn preachers into superstars when we're here to empower you, to edify, to bring you to perfection. That's the job of the fivefold ministry. is to perfect the saints, to perfect you on the earth in the area of your finance. So if you don't have a home, turn. It's a new day. Find out, discover how you can tap into some dollars. First time owners, they'll give you the down payment. And I'm telling you, one of the most secure and fastest way to economic empowerment and wealth in this country is real estate. Owning a piece of property. Owning it. Now, if you're comfortable with renting, that's okay. That's fine. I'm not saying renting is 100% bad. But when you look at the reality of renting, when you keep renting, you don't own anything. You're paying a landlord for that facility. So over a period of time, you're going to end up paying off the mortgage for the landlord. And you're not getting anything when the lease is up. So if you can build the courage, now some people, they're comfortable renting and there are reasons why. I get that. If there are reasons why you have to rent, I get that. Maybe you have to rent for a while to clean up your credit and all that kind of stuff. Okay? But if you can afford to pay rent, you can afford a mortgage. And some of you will be shocked to know that your mortgage payment could be equal to what you're paying in rent and sometimes be less. So turn to that new page and say, you know what? I want to be a homeowner. I'm a Christian, but I want to own a piece of dirt because you know what? If you don't own your property, your condo, your apartment, or your single family home, if you don't own that sits on a piece of dirt, maybe unless they're going to cremate you, you will own a piece of dirt when you die. Because your family is going to put you and it's just a shame that it's a little bit of piece of dirt in the cemetery you're going to own. And you don't even own it. It's your family pretty much paid for it. Or if you have insurance, you paid for it. So I'm trying to just encourage you, man. You got to turn. I want to empower you that 5 years from now, you got a property, a car. With a car, come on now. I mean, it's not every time you have to buy a new car. I know, I can tell you, I don't like cars with problems. But if you got money like that and you want to buy a new car, go. I'm not telling, please, because I have bought new cars myself, but I've also bought used cars. Okay? Because you have to remember this, that in most cases, when you purchase a car, a brand new car, I'm not sure if you're aware of this, by the time you take that car off the property, I believe it's either 10 or 20% of the value is gone. I mean, just driving it off the lot, the price, the value it depreciates. Seriously. A home will always, depending, of course, there are different scenarios and so forth, factors, you know. But you need to prioritize, I would say, your goals in life. God's given you a new opportunity. You can turn the page and you can create wealth for your family. What about life insurance? We're all going to die. I've been preaching this. This is practical stuff. If you don't have life insurance, you need to call an agent right now and say, the moment you finish listening to this, look, I just need, at least bury yourself. At least get some money on your own so you don't have to leave your kids or your family. And you know, you may say, I don't care nothing about that, let them pay. Well, that's sad. That's really sad. But you need to get some life insurance, health insurance, and that's a big issue during the election and so forth. You know, shop around because one hospital visit can leave you broke. I used to work in the hospital system, and one way or the other, the hospital is going to get their money. They're going to get their money. They'll put a lien on your property, whatever they got to do. They're going to get their money. I've seen that because I used to work at the hospital, and people would watch this. This is crazy. People would buy expensive cars, and people would buy homes, and it was just okay, fine, because I believe in that too. And people will be dressed up. They'll live in the mall, high-end clothes, everything like that. But won't have health insurance, or if they do, it's little or nothing. And I've seen where one tragic situation happened in their lives. They went to the hospital. The bill is over $100,000. Some of them never had an insurance. And by the way, when you're a self-pay, there is nothing written off. Only to find out that, okay, they ignore the bill, whatever. They don't care about their credit, whatever. But guess what? They put a lien on that house they didn't even know. And it's when they're ready to sell their home, they have to now come to the hospital because you can't sell that house. When there's a lien on it, the lien has to be satisfied. You can't sell it until you clear that lien. Now they got to come to the hospital. And watch this. The hospital now don't have to work with you because you're in a tight spot. The hospital is not desperate. It's you. You're the one who's desperate now. So they can tell you, no, we want our money. So you can't sell that house till you pay. I've seen it with my own two eyes multiple times when I used to work for the hospital. Because people fail to put first things first. Think about that. So you need to turn in a new page. You cannot continue this way. And you know what? You may not die right now. You may live for another 20, 30, 40, 50 years, depending on your age. And think about this. Who is going to take care of you? See, change your thinking, change your wrong side or your wrong way of thinking on the wrong side to the right side and start thinking right. Start thinking correctly, man. Who's going to take care of you? Your kids? Okay, hopefully they will. Social Security, hopefully. And by the time you reach that age, whatever you're going to get ain't nothing much if it's still around. Think about that. So you need to change, man. Change the way you think. Yeah, bad credit. You did some dumb stuff. Like me, rip that up, throw it away. It's a new day. After this podcast, you cannot say God never spoke through a person called Henry Fernandez to challenge you and to make you start doing right. You can't say that now because I did my job. I did my part. It's all up to you now to do your part. Now, let's see if you're going to do it, right? It's a new day. It's a new day with how you're spending your money. Maybe you have a house, interest rates will drop low, below 2%, I believe. Okay? And now you need a financial advisor. Some of you just make decisions so quickly without asking for any advice. Ask for advice, man, because you may think you know you're doing right, but you're really hurting yourself. Because if the interest rate goes down to 2%, or when it goes down to 2%, if you just have 5 years left for your mortgage, why refi? I'd just double up, man, on my payments. Or just talk to a financial advisor, so that they can talk to you, okay? But you're going to be given a brand new opportunity, new loans. It's a reset. Back in 2008, we had an opportunity to reset. And it's a shame that 12 years later, some people are in the same predicament or worse. How did that happen? They didn't turn. They kept drawing or writing on the same messed up page, and they did not turn. Turn, man. Do something different. Get advice. Get the right people around you, and you will make it. It is my hope that somehow I helped you. I could go on and on. My purpose for the podcast today was to provoke your thoughts, to get you to think. Do you see the new opportunities? Do you see that God has given you a new page to rewrite the history of your life? Or do you see you stuck in the same old ways and stuff? It's up to you. Change, man. Just change. Be better. Be the best authentic you possible. Share this with somebody. Please do. I love you. I'll see you next time.